Hey racers, John Racer through today, back for another Hot Wheels tournament, and today is that time of year. It is time for Supercars 11. That is right, 11 iterations of this tournament, and now we're here in 2026. We have 16 brand new and not unboxed Hot Wheels and Matchbox models that I found at the Matchbox convention. If you guys are new here, I do this tournament every single year where I race 16 Hot Wheels and Matchbox Supercars on a track to find out which one is the fastest. All of the cars I have sourced at the Matchbox convention. So we've got a great track for these cars to race on today. The 2-lane play robotic start gate leading the cars into the turn 1 lane spool heads. Turn 1 downhill, which merges into a fat track. So cars are going to be beating and banging for position here as they race into turn 2, which is also a slope turn. So all of these downhill sections are going to give cars ample opportunity to pass and race their way to the finale. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the cars that we have competing today and how this tournament is going to work this year. Overall today we have 9 Hot Wheels castings and 7 Matchbox castings, and on top of that we have 7 different Ferraris from both Hot Wheels and Matchbox in this tournament. So very much a Ferrari heavy tournament, as you can see, with that 5-pack, and it's all going to come down to which car is the fastest. So let's go ahead and unbox these cars, take a closer look and see the matchups. Let's go ahead and start with Team Matchbox. In our first match, we've got a Porsche 911 GT1 in yellow going up against that Hot Wheels McLaren W1 Red Edition. I have no idea how fast that Porsche is, but we know the W1 is speedy, so hopefully the red version has some good speed. For our second matchup, we have the Koenigsegg Jesko, another red edition from Hot Wheels, going up against a Peugeot Quasar, a very, very old Matchbox model, but a very cool looking supercar with a metal base and actually has a little bit of suspension as well. We'll see if that helps him on the track. But as we go into our third matchup, this is our only Hot Wheels versus Hot Wheels matchup, and it features a 2008 Tesla Roadster in a beautiful looking blue color, and I do believe I might have raced this car in a previous Supercars tournament. I'll have to double check on my videos and see, but on the outside lane of that Tesla is a Ferrari GTO. This thing looks like it will dominate the track with the thick back wheels, metal body, and metal base. We know in previous tournaments that the Ferrari GTO has been super speedy, so I anticipate that thing racing all the way to the finals, but he's not going to have an easy first race against that Tesla. Then going back into the group, we now have the Hot Wheels team supported by the brand new Ferrari 5-pack with that Ferrari GTB4 on the inside, and for Matchbox we have another Porsche 911 on the outside with a beautiful light blue paint and tan interior. One of the best looking cars in my opinion in this tournament. As we continue on though, further back in the field, we've got a Ferrari SF90, another Ferrari from the Ferrari 5-pack, which honestly I think the Ferrari 5-pack could have been a little bit better. The Dino we've already seen before, and we've seen these colors from basically all of these cars already, especially the SF90, which I do believe looks really, really good in this dark red, and he's going up against a Matchbox Ferrari. This is a Ferrari Testarossa. It's got a metal base, and it's also got a little bit of suspension like the other Quasar that we saw earlier in the driver intros, so I have no idea how fast it's going to be on the track, but we're about to find out. And then as we transition to the back end of the field, like I said, we have that Ferrari Dino that looks like a Ferrari Dino that just got released in the mainline series, but he's racing this tournament against a Nissan GT-R R35 from Matchbox, the movie. This is the mainline version, so no moving parts and pretty basic wheels looking to race on, and it looks like a really good GT-R as well. But as you can see behind him, we got another GT-R. This is the exact same Nissan GT-R, the R35, but it's got moving parts and just a little bit of extra detail added onto the casting as well. So we'll see the speed comparisons between the two. He's going to be going up against a Ferrari 12 Cylindri, which is in the exact same color. We've seen it before on this channel. And then finally, wrapping up our matchups, we have the Audi RS6 moving parts model from Matchbox going up against the Ferrari F40 in red. So those are the matchups. The race is going to be first car to 2 consecutive wins, moving on to the next round, which will take us from 16 cars to 8 down to 4 in the semifinals, and then the final 2. But as you can see, we also have some super chases and some super treasure hunts that I also acquired at the Matchbox convention, and this wouldn't be a Supercars tournament on this channel without cracking them open. And I see we have an even 4, so why don't we do a little bit of an exhibition race first, racing the Hot Wheels super treasure hunts and the Matchbox super chases to see which one is the fastest before we get into our actual tournament. It's going to be very heated, and I'm very excited. If you just want to jump straight to the tournament, go ahead and check out the chapters in the video, but if not, let's go ahead and crack open these super chases and super treasure hunts to get this tournament underway. For our little super treasure hunt battle on the Hot Wheels side, we have the Ford Mustang GTD versus the Ford RS200, a Ford super treasure hunt battle, and then we have a Jaguar versus a Ford GT for the Matchbox super chase battle. I do not expect these cars to complete this track whatsoever, so whoever goes the farthest wins. We'll just do one shot to see who takes it. Ford Mustang on the inside, Ford RS200 on the outside. Let's see who takes it. It's going to be the RS200 with a little bit more speed than the Ford, but as you can see, they're super treasure hunts. They're not going to be going very fast. Do the same thing with the Matchbox. The Jaguar XJ on the inside versus the Ford GT on the outside. It's going to be the Jaguar this time, just barely beating the Ford up the hill. So now we'll see who goes farther up the hill. Will it be Hot Wheels or Matchbox? It's going to be a close one. It's going to be Hot Wheels, just barely edging Matchbox out to win the Super Treasure Hunt tournament before getting started. All right, that was fun, but now let's get into the actual Supercar tournament. Our first matchup is McLaren versus Porsche. The Porsche starting on the outside to kick this one off. Let's see if he's got some speed against the McLaren on lap 1. It doesn't look like it. The McLaren absolutely runs away with it, and that was a really fast run too. Look at that, almost completing the track, crossing the second finish line, and it looks like he's just mogging this yellow Porsche in the first race. McLaren's now got a win from the outside. If he spins out though, he's in jeopardy of losing. Can he get it? Take a look at that. Despite his spin, he crosses the line with a lap time and beats out the Matchbox Porsche. Team Hot Wheels has now 1 point in the Hot Wheels versus Matchbox subplot. I'm excited for this next matchup on the outside. We have the Peugeot Quasar against the Koenigsegg Jesko. Looks like the Koenigsegg has more speed than the Peugeot, who just barely completes the turn. Not a lot of speed in that casting as the Koenigsegg crosses the line, taking the first win. Come on, Quasar, let's see some more of that speed on the inside lane. You've got the advantage on the Koenigsegg. Let's see what you can do. The Koenigsegg doesn't even look that fast, but he crosses the line first, beating out the Quasar and moves on to the next round. This race might be historic. Our next matchup is the Tesla Roadster versus the Ferrari GTO there on that outside, and I have a feeling this Ferrari is just going to be unbelievably quick. He might be a brand new champion in the making here. Let's see what he can do. Oh, take a look at that. The Ferrari's quick, but so is the Tesla. He comes back and crosses the line at the last second in front of the Ferrari to take the win advantage for race 1. It'd be hilarious if the Ferrari gets eliminated here after all the hype that I've given him, but it wouldn't be the first time that's happened. Look at that, the Ferrari runs away this time and he's completing the track with ease. The Tesla hits a little bit too hard of a drift into turn 1, loses his win advantage as we go into a race 3. All right, in that first race when the GTO was on the outside, it was just a spin that took away his win. Can he keep it straight this time? Wow, what a battle. The Tesla's not going to make it easy for him. He flips the win advantage again as the Ferrari tries to make the switchback happen, but that Porsche was just so solid on the outside lane. I did not mean Porsche, I meant Tesla. That Roadster's quick and now has the win advantage on the outside lane. Oh, he just gets a little bit loose. Look at that. He carries the speed so well through the corners, but that Ferrari is just so fast on the inside lane. We go to a race 5. Something I forgot to mention with these races is that the farthest car at the end of the tournament will take the win, so it is not the first car to cross that Play Robotics finish gate. It will be the first car to cross this finish line or whatever car goes the farthest. So with that in mind, Ferrari with the win advantage going up against the Tesla Roadster. Let's go ahead and see what happens. That Ferrari is so speedy, but so is the Tesla. Who's gonna take it? The Ferrari from the outside lane gets it done, does a 360 and crosses the line. He defeats the Tesla Roadster and moves on to the second round. Our next matchup on the outside is the Matchbox Porsche 911 Turbo going up against the Ferrari 365 GTB4. The Ferrari 365 crossing the line first, beating out that Matchbox Porsche, who just does not have the speed to compete. It's looking like these Hot Wheels Ferraris are going to be pretty hard to beat on the track. The Matchbox Porsche has one more shot. And the Ferrari GTB4 is just too speedy. He takes the win and moves on to the next round. We're now halfway through the first round, and unfortunate for the Team Matchbox cars, but they are all getting eliminated right now, and they're all red cars moving on to the next round too. And we have a ton of red cars still left to go. Shout out Ferrari, and it's gonna be a Ferrari v Ferrari matchup up next. Let's go ahead and see who moves on along with the Ferraris who have so far. But I just found out before we get this race started, this Ferrari Testarossa from Matchbox doesn't fit on the track. His back wheels are just a little bit too big, and he's not going to be able to roll on the Hot Wheels track, but that's okay. Matchbox does have a substitute. I have this Ferrari F40 that I found at the convention with a pretty sick paint job. We'll crack him open, and he will take the place of the Testarossa. For these next 4 races, Matchbox is going to have that inside lane advantage, and with that crazy F40, let's see if they can get their first win. Take a look at that, he's gonna do it. The F40 takes the first win for Matchbox. The F40 doesn't seem super fast, but luckily for him, neither is the SF90. They go again for round 2. Oh no, the F40 went for the outside move, got a little too loose and lost it. He flips the win advantage back to the SF90. What can this F40 do? That is just a crazy looking casting. Can he flip the win advantage back to Matchbox? It looks like he's going to, because this is a really slow matchup. That Ferrari just can't do anything. All right, Ferrari F40, this is your time to get a win for Matchbox and beat the SF90 from the outside lane. He's gonna do it. He passes the SF90 on the backstretch, and Matchbox gets their first win. Next up is the Nissan GT-R R35 on the inside for Matchbox and the Ferrari Dino on the outside for Hot Wheels. Take a look at that. The Dino gets tapped in the rear by the GT-R, who did not look like he was going to be slowing down, but unfortunately spins out around turn 2, and the Dino takes the first win from the outside. The Dino now with that inside lane and the win advantage. Can the GT-R fight back? It doesn't look like it. The Dino takes the win, beating the GT-R and moving on to the next round. We've got another Nissan GT-R. This time the moving parts R35's on the inside of the Ferrari 12 Cylindri. The Cylindri knows how to get it done. He almost loses it there going into turn 3 against the GT-R, but manages to hold it and takes the win from the outside as we go to race 2. That GT-R is no slouch, but he's got to take the win from the outside to move on for Matchbox. Can he beat the Ferrari? He's gonna do it. He has the speed at the end of the straight. From the outside, the Nissan GT-R takes the win and flips the win advantage. Race number 3, now that GT-R's got the inside lane and the win advantage. Can he beat the Ferrari? The Ferrari 12 Cylindri spun out, but the GT-R didn't have the run he needed from the inside lane. We go to a race 4. Race number 4, the Ferrari with the win advantage on the inside. Can he keep it straight this time? It looks like he can. The Ferrari 12 Cylindri on race 4 beats out the Nissan GT-R to move on to the next round. After all that, we got one more match for the first round and only one Matchbox has moved on, and it's the F40 who barely even completed the track. We've got one more Matchbox to see if they've got the speed. It's the Audi RS6 going up against the Ferrari F40 from Hot Wheels. Race 1, let's see if that purple Audi can bring the speed on the inside. Wow, I was not expecting that move. Take a look at that. The F40, without a lot of speed, pulls to the inside of the Audi, who slows down heavily around turn 2 and loses his lead as we go into race 2. The Ferrari won that from the outside, but now he's on the inside. Can the Audi retaliate? He had some really good speed off the line. The Audi's gonna lunge, but he's not gonna get there. The F40 takes the win, and the Ferraris win the first round. All right, without further ado, all of the cars that have moved on to round 2 are in fact red. I guess that Ferrari's technically orange, maybe? He looks very orange. He doesn't look as red as the other red Ferraris. But anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the second round matchups now. All right, it's going to be a lot of heated Ferrari battles, but we still have a McLaren and a Koenigsegg in this battle of Ferrari. So the McLaren's going to be going up against the Ferrari 365, the Koenigsegg going up against the Dino, the GTO's going up against the 12 Cylindri, and then we have both of the Ferrari F40s going to be duking it out in the back, Matchbox on the inside, and Hot Wheels on the outside. Let's go ahead and get started with the second round, but before we do that, a word from our sponsor. The sponsor for today is the Global Diecast Championship. This is my Hot Wheels Racing Championship that I post over on Instagram. A very, very entertaining championship with 8 teams, 16 cars, and a lot of intense racing. Season 1 is starting now over on the Instagram page, so I would highly recommend you guys go check it out and follow along with the season and all the storylines that come along with it. They're racing on this track this season, and as you've seen so far in this tournament, it's provided some really good battles with some of the fastest cars. So if that's something you want to see constantly, go ahead and check out the Global Diecast Championship on Instagram. That's right, our sponsor today is just me until we get another sponsor. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into round 2. McLaren W1 on the inside, Ferrari 365 on the outside for race 1. Take a look at that, they tangle, and it's the McLaren holding his lead against the Ferraris. We go into race 2, what a run. That McLaren is no slouch, he's super speedy, but can he get the win done on the outside lane here? The McLaren's gonna do it. He spins out. Hopefully the Ferrari didn't pass him, and he didn't. McLaren dethrones another Ferrari as we go into round 3 with the McLaren. The Ferrari 365, though, is eliminated. Our next matchup is the Koenigsegg Jesko versus the Ferrari Dino. 2 red supercars. Let's see who wins it. The Koenigsegg loses it, so does the Dino, but he loses it at the line and just stares down the Jesko as he takes the first win. And we go into a race 2. The Koenigsegg's got to pick it up if he doesn't want to be eliminated. These cars seem pretty evenly matched, so the Koenigsegg's just got to take the win from the outside. Let's see if he can do it. Oh, he tries to squeeze the outside, but the Dino's not going to let him. The Ferrari Dino holds his position and dethrones the Koenigsegg as we go into round 3 with that Ferrari. Now, we've only got one car that isn't a Ferrari left in the tournament. That's a McLaren that just won. Unfortunate for the Koenigsegg. Next up in our Ferrari Civil War, we've got the GTO on the inside and the 12 Cylindri on the outside. That GTO is just so darn fast. He's going to finish way ahead of the Ferrari 12 Cylindri as we go into race 2. It doesn't look like anyone can stop that GTO. Maybe the Roadster could, but he's out of it now. That Ferrari is so fast, and that was a perfect run too, completing the track, winning, moving on to the next round, and dethroning that 12 Cylindri from the matchup. And man, I don't know, guys. I don't know if anyone can beat this guy. We've seen the speed of the GTO, and now we have two Ferrari F40s that just need to try and beat each other. Matchbox holding on to the lead with the F40 is going to beat the Hot Wheels F40 for race 1. Can Team Matchbox bring a car to the semis in Supercars 11? Let's find out. Oh, it doesn't look like it. The Hot Wheels F40 blocks them this time. Can the Hot Wheels F40 take the win from the outside, dethroning the Matchbox F40? It comes down to this. Look at that. Both of the F40s really struggle as they go into turn 2. It's the Matchbox F40 taking race 3. All right, now it's the Matchbox F40 on the outside who needs to take the win here to move on to the semis. They were both slow around turn 2, but the Matchbox F40's taking the win here. He carries Team Matchbox to the semis. Well, we now have the best of the best battling it out in the semis. And here are those matchups. The Matchbox F40 is going to have the toughest challenge yet. That Hot Wheels Ferrari GTO, and then up against them, the winner of this matchup, the McLaren W1 versus the Ferrari Dino, will move on to the finals. The fastest of the fast remain. Plus the Matchbox F40, who's gonna take it? The McLaren W1 starts round 3 with that inside lane advantage on the Ferrari Dino. And he's gonna run away from it. The McLaren takes the first win. Ferrari Dino's got that inside lane now. He'll be quick around turn 1. What can the McLaren do about it? The McLaren's absolutely gonna run away with it. It's a flawless race for the McLaren as he proves he's got the speed to race on to the championship. But who's gonna face him? Will it be the Hot Wheels GTO or the Matchbox F40? Leave your predictions down below. You guys guessed it, it's the Hot Wheels F40 taking the first win from the outside. And hey, for all my Team Matchbox fans out there, there's nothing to be ashamed of. The F40 gave it his all. The GTO just shows us the speed he's going to have against the McLaren as he races to the end of the track, moving on to the finale, and the Matchbox F40 is finally eliminated. At the end of the day, the fastest two cars remain, the McLaren W1 versus the Ferrari GTO. Both of these castings have proven to be super speedy. One of them I think is going to bring it home easily, but the underdog is still there and anything can happen. First car to 2 wins consecutively will be crowned the champion. Let's see who's going to win Supercars number 11. The McLaren W1 is going to get the inside lane advantage for race 1. What can the Ferrari do about it? The Ferrari went for a pass on the McLaren, but he fumbled it, crashing into the wall and not being able to make the pass. That gives the McLaren W1 the advantage, starting from the outside for race 2. That GTO, though, has just been so fast on the inside lane. The McLaren's going to need a good run if he wants to win this. He gets a good run, but it's not good enough, and the Ferrari spins out at the end. McLaren could have won it there, but he didn't get far enough past the Ferrari. The win advantage flips to the GTO as we go into race 3. It's going to come down to who can win on the outside lane. This time it's the GTO with the advantage. Can he end the tournament here? And with a beautiful race, the Ferrari GTO beats the McLaren W1 to win Supercars 11. The McLaren W1 gave it his all, he really did, but the speed just wasn't fast enough to beat the metal body and metal base and those really thick tires of the Ferrari GTO, who races to a very good win. These tournaments are always my favorite to film. throughout the year. So comment down below, should I make more Supercar tournaments more than just once a year after the Matchbox convention? These cars were fast, but I have a ton of other fast Supercars in my collection that I would love to race for you guys. So if that's something you want to see, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I'd appreciate it. But that is all I've got for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching this tournament. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.